well,
Suzanne, you want to start your camera?
Oh,
Hey there.
There.
Hi, Suzanne.
First,
So-
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, Suzanne, you're working with craft folks, and they're creating crafts that actually you could just restate your pain and pleasure islands.
I belong to a group of 70 plus women, and every year we are expected to produce a couple of crafts that are sold at an event and the money we raise goes back to our community through our food pantry and other similar organizations. And so many people say, oh, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. And I know they can.
Okay, so they are making crafts. It's about, first of all, they want to make crafts that sell.
Right.
And they sell at a fair. You said like a craft fair.
Yes, we have an annual Christmas fair, and we also sell things at a consignment gift shop.
Okay, wait. Okay, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to just be really succinct, so we can work through it. So they, at this point, they're, at the end, you want them to have the skills and the confidence to be able to create something that'll sell.
Exactly.
And right now they have the skills, but they don't know they have the skills. Is this right?
Right.
And they don't have the confidence. Okay.
Right.
So to me, like, the premise would be that they
Well, I would say, just to flip it a little bit, I would say, what would you say is the opportunity for them there? So they have this dream that they want to achieve, and it sounds like they already have the necessary skills, they just don't quite know it. So what is the route that you know that they don't, that their dream actually can become real?
I've done a few workshops in person and had them work as a group, so each person has something to add to the project.
Okay, so while I believe that is correct, I think you're jumping a little too far down the process. So, because did you hear right there? That immediately, to me, if I'm interested in creating a craft that I can sell, and I'm looking around to it, does that sound like I'm doing it myself right now? Like I'm figuring it out? Or does that sound like I have to buy something first?
I think the first step is coming up with a creative idea of something they would like to pursue.
So close. This is tough work, so thanks for sticking with me here. So all we're trying to share with them is that it is possible for them. We're not even on it's not necessarily their first step. It's not the way that they're going to do it by joining a workshop. It's not how they're going to learn how to do it. It's just, what is that opportunity? It sounds like if they need to learn, what is it that if they knew how to do, then they would be able to be selling their thing at the craft fair?
Confidence in themselves and pride in being able to contribute.
And is that all? If they have the confidence, then that's the only thing that they're going to need to have is their confidence, and then they're going to be able to do this?
Oh, they'll need to learn how to do it.
Okay. And so let's get there. So what do they need to learn? Is it a specific type of craft that they need to learn?
No, it doesn't need to be specific, just some area that they're interested in.
Okay.
We've done a lot of different workshops.
Okay. And would they need to, are there some that are going to work and some that wouldn't? Or is it really just, yeah, because you say they would need to learn how to do it, so they need to learn the craft.
I would think you'd want to do this for a specific workshop, not just in general.
Right.
So to me, it's like there's a magic trick, right? When you bring people in this workshop, a lot of them come in, they don't have any knowledge of how to do this craft whatsoever, right? And the magic trick is you show them how to do it.
Right.
Right. You show them how to do it, and you show them how to do it at a level that is good enough where people will pay money for it.
Hope so.
Yeah. So like to me, like the premise is not like there's probably people out there, they think they're not crafty, they think they're not talented, they think that no one would ever pay them for anything. But the reality is they just don't know. I guess they don't know what sells, and they don't know the process. They don't know the process of creating it.
And part of all of this is making it irresistible once it is for sale. So a lot of it is the marketing, the packaging, how to make it really appealing.
So I mean, I think a premise is that people walk around and I think I want to jump to another example. So I sort of want to wrap this up fairly quick because I want to get to Jennifer and the dogs. But
yes.
I think to me, like a premise that might work is that you might be one of those people that I'm just going to speak how you might speak to your avatar, and I'm just going to guess, and this could be completely wrong, but you might be one of those one of those people that goes to craft fairs, and you see people with their amazing wares, and you see just they're making sales, and they're able to live this life where they get to create and actually get paid for it. And you might think that there's some magic, or that there's some magic trick to it, or that these people are just inherently talented. They're incredibly talented, and they just came out of the womb knowing how to create crafts and create artwork that people buy. But the thing I've experienced is that there's a formula behind this. There's a formula behind knowing what people want to buy, packaging things so that they want to buy it, and being able to create those things. And that creation is not about talent. It's just about knowledge. It's just about putting in a few repetitions. And the selling of it is about the packaging. And you might not think of yourself as a salesperson or as a marketer, but the reality is when you know how to package your craft work, your crafts, you will become that person that can create and get paid for that craft work. I think something along that lines. That's like the whole story arc. So I think with that premise in PLC 1, and I'm making this up. I don't know your mark. I'm making it up. But with that kind of, this idea that you might think you need to be crazy talented, you might think there's a magic trick to being able to be that person that goes to craft, that actually is actually making those sales instead of just watching other people make sales. Well, there actually is a magic trick. And they have learned what sells, how to sell it, and how to create the thing that sells. And it doesn't come down to talent. It comes down to knowledge. It comes down to, repetition, experience. And in my next video, I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the next video, so that first one's just about the premise, and maybe you're showing examples of some of the work you've done or your students have done. But it's just idea of showing that there's a process. There's a process. So the next one I'm going to show you. And that one, it could be, like Dan said often, this one's about the tools. But when we say tools, that isn't like, okay, this is a tool. This controls the slides. That's a tool. But also a framework is a tool. right? A process is a tool. So I'm using tools in its bigger picture sense. The tools are like, that could be exactly like, you could show your different workshops that and the different things you create and what people end up with. You actually probably could show the actual tools, the paintbrushes and the knives and the whatever, or the materials, or even how to source those materials. So that could be in PLC 2. And then PLC 3 would sort of, to me, that's like the map of how the whole business works. Right? How shows work, how you get space at a show, what it costs to be at a show, what, all sort of that thing that seems mysterious, how to put your display together. And you're not doing it super granular, it's still at a big picture level. And then you're like, and you know what? If this appeals to you and you want to get, you want to go down this path. And instead of being a person who walks around at the show and looks at other people selling stuff, if you want to be the person who's getting paid for the crafts that you create so that you are a professional crafter, let me tell you I'd love to be your guide, and let me tell you about it. And that could be a sequence there.
I think part of my job is being the cheerleader.
Oh, absolutely. All of us, the only people that need to be cheerleaders is every single person here. Every single one of us in the chat, I'm looking at you in the chat, we all need to be cheerleaders. Like when you saw...
When we do this.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yes, we need to be doing that. Like when you saw Ben talking to Michelle, was he a cheerleader when you saw Dorothea talking to Anna, was Dorothea a cheerleader? We all need to be cheerleaders. We all need to be champions for our people. Because whatever we're doing, we're changing lives. Even if it's just teaching people how to make crafts and sell their crafts. Even if it's just getting your dog to come when it's called. We're all changing lives. And behavior change is hard for all of us. Behavior change is hard for humans. And so I'll tell you what you're doing is you're taking someone who doubts themselves and their ability to make crafts, and you're taking them to sell those crafts. That's a big jump. They need a cheerleader. They need a cheerleader. But all of us, do you all of you here in the chat, all of you out there, I'm your cheerleader. Because you need a cheerleader. That's our job. Every one of us, we talked about Tony Robbins, right? What does Tony Robbins do? He does personal development. We all need to do personal development. Every one of us. Because change is hard, and we're trying to get our people to change. So thank you so much. And I think we want to jump to another example.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sweet. You are welcome.